Hey Tamoretsi, my name is Rob Sowire, coming straight from Rustenburg, the 014 Platinum City, and you are listening to the Urban Info Podcast pilot episode, a podcast that is dedicated to provide you with relevant news, information, and discussion youth-related issues in the open discussion that is more likely to aid you in your livelihood. Welcome, and of course, I'm with my bro, J95. What's up, man?
Welcome to the Urban Info Podcast. My name is J95. What's good, Raps?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, let's get into this thing. COVID-19 2020 world pandemic.
Yeah. That is the most thing that has been killing people, and I don't know if people are surely adapting to the how coronavirus is doing or what, but how do you handle the situation?
I mean, this situation is pretty freaky. It's pretty scary for me, honestly. But in the beginning, I was kind of like, nah, man, there's no such thing as coronavirus. I just believe that it was a ruse in J, to try and make people panic. But if it's there, I believe Tore, the whole idea and the main point of its creation, its development was human population control. Because there's lots of us and it's killing
Yeah,
lots of us.
many people are saying it's related to some conspiracy that people are trying to kill us, and some are doing it so that we can sell vaccine. But I don't know, man, if I should say I believe there's conspiracy or not. But it's kind of tricky where someone said on Facebook last I was watching. She said, you find numbers of people increasing dying from COVID-19, but ever since there's COVID-19, people are dying from COVID-19, but we haven't heard someone who told to be died from any other disease except COVID-19. Because last year, 2019, people were dying too, but no one has ever said it's COVID-19. And then there were reported cases from cancer and a lot of things. But now everyone, when a person is dying, is COVID-19. So I don't know. That's why people are saying this COVID-19 thing is a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy behind it, but I don't want to get more into it. I just want to know, how do you think and what do you think about that?
I get it. I used to see it on social media. People, it was kind of like a joke, but if you've heard before, like a rapper once said, every joke contains true shit. And that's real.
That's true.
That's real. Nobody knows anybody that has COVID-19 or knows someone that knows or knew someone that had COVID-19 and they've died from it. It's always so and so was quarantined, so and so died from COVID-19. There's like no proof.
But every day the numbers are going up.
And every day the numbers just keep rising, which is kind of tricky. But I mean, how have I been handling this whole situation? Is it a conspiracy theory? I don't know, man. It's affecting the whole world, so we really can't say it's a conspiracy theory because the idea was that, from my initial thing, was like they're targeting Africa, a lot of resources, a lot of land to be used and stuff. But
Yeah.
I actually went back and I was like, you know what, man? I don't have the facts like that. I'm not out there with the nurses and the doctors who are doing the tests and stuff. So I cannot say yes, I cannot say I don't know, I believe or I don't believe. I'm just trying to get the facts and understand what's really going on. It's kind of like a tightrope.
Yeah, for now, all we can do is just follow what the officials are saying about this. And then, I don't know if we should accept this COVID-19 as part of our new reality, or maybe should we expect it to end soon. It's a stumbling block to many of life because people are saying, I'm just waiting for coronavirus to end so that I can focus on my dreams, my goal,
my life.
and get back to my life. So question is, will we ever get that back life, or should we just continue and start living with coronavirus as part of our new life? Because TB and HIV came the same way. We thought it's just a thing coming, like Ebola. Like, you remember when Ebola came into Africa? People say that it was pandemic just like this one, but at some point there was the end of it. But so I don't know if we should say the same about coronavirus, or should we continue our day-to-day activity?
I mean, before I answer that question, just a month ago, my mother really took an interest into this whole coronavirus thing. She did some research and She came home with some research that spoke about a flu a world pandemic flu that hit the world back in the 1918s, 19 somethings back then. You
Yeah.
know, I forgot what it was called. Something flu, Russian flu or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I
People
think I
lived
remember
with that.
something like that.
Yeah, people lived with that for like years. And then I remember Ramaphosa said, the president said, we should expect to live with coronavirus for a few more years. I believe a whole lot of blurred lines where people don't understand what's actually going on and aren't well informed and educated about this. But I believe that we should just go back to our daily normal lives, although it won't be as normal
Yeah,
and as
yeah,
daily as 2019.
yeah. Because many people are saying that they can't live with mask, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Because you just those masks just limit the amount of oxygen that you inhale. So I don't know if World Health Organization is saying about that, because to me, I'm not a medical professional.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about medicine, but somehow I think that little amount of oxygen is somehow affecting the body, because imagine, remember that we used to live with this kind of oxygen that we receive per day,
Yeah.
but now we're limiting it. Doesn't it affect us somehow?
I mean, I couldn't understand because when I have my mask on, I don't really struggle breathing through it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't matter which kind of mask it is, how tight it is, how
So you just breathe normal.
I just breathe normally unless I'm running or I'm walking really fast.
To me, it feels like I'm exhaling carbon dioxide and also inhaling it back. So it doesn't feel right to me. But anyway, the
Yeah,
Minister
true.
of Justice and Correctional Service, Ronald Lamola, say that it's now a criminal offense for us not to wear a face mask. So I guess we don't have a choice.
Yeah, I guess we do not have a choice. I mean, you can't even get into a supermarket without a
Yeah,
mask on.
yeah.
You can't even get into a tuck shop without a mask on. So, without a mask, if you decide not to wear a mask, you really can't go on about in a day and do your daily dues that you have to do. I mean, you don't have a mask, so just stay inside. But I mean, it's one way that the whole world has figured out on how to slow the spread of it, even though the numbers just keep rising every day, especially in South Africa. The
Yeah,
numbers
they really do.
are like 500,000 now, over 500,000 infections. But we've had more recoveries than deaths. So
I guess it's a good thing, that one.
yeah, I guess it is a good thing. I just encourage people, to like wear masks. I mean, there are well ventilated masks.
Yeah, yeah.
With a little bit, I'm trying to get that one and see how that one works for me. I mean, I believe these masks shouldn't even be sold. They should just be provided for free. Yeah, okay, cool, I get it. The economy.
Everyone is out there for money, man.
Yeah,
because
everybody's
the
out there
economy
for
is doing
money.
bad right
But
now.
it's a world pandemic. I don't believe this is a time for people to be trying to make money and stuff. Like, we should be looking out for each other. I mean, I was watching the news, unused PPEs thrown
Yeah,
away and
yeah.
stuff. It's all bad, whichever way you look at it, though.
I don't know. To a lot of people, this pandemic it's a good thing to them, not in a bad way, but they profit out of how this COVID-19 is affecting people. Some just seeing it as a way of monetizing, and so
Yeah.
I guess it's a way of life to see opportunity where there's no opportunity. So I guess so that's why I say I don't know if we should just fold hands and say we wait for coronavirus to end, or should we just continue with our life, because because somehow we think coronavirus is here to stay. So maybe we should start making money out of the whole pandemic, but not to make money out of people. Find a
Yeah.
way of making money in this whole pandemic, because you can't say I'm going to look for a job right now, because it's not safe out there.
And I don't think there's anybody hiring. People are losing jobs. People are getting fired from their jobs.
Only
Imagine
because there are no enough funds.
there's not enough funds. There's not enough people like out there. Movement has changed. The money is slow. We should just learn to live with this pandemic. I mean, we don't know when it's gonna end. So it's kind of tricky. I say let's learn to live with it. You know, let's find a way to cope with it. You know,
Yeah.
let's be more open about it. Let's talk more about it amongst ourselves as individuals and as peers, because when this thing's gonna end, nobody really knows.
Yeah,
You know?
I think we don't have a choice, but I don't know. Government is trying, man. It's offer the solidarity funds, which offer people the money, and then the people who are not working again the 350. Some say it's 350. What can we do with 350? But
Yeah.
I don't know. If you haven't been working for the past 2 years and haven't getting nothing, I think 350 is better for you to get a toiletry.
It's
man.
more than enough.
It's more than enough to get you a toiletry. So it's something.
It's something.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing during a time like this.
It's better.
I mean, in this time, we need to learn to let go of the bad habits that used to make us live out of our means. Learn to adapt. I mean, it's a challenge for everyone.
Yeah, it's
For,
really
for
is.
learners, for schools and stuff, universities. I mean, there's online learning, man. Everything is online. It's
I was talking to one friend of mine who told me that she once wanted to study online and she never had a chance to. So to her, this lockdown and coronavirus thing was somehow a blessing in disguise because she managed to do a lot of things like reading and study online. So I think maybe if we can think of it that way, see the positive side of it, even though there's nothing positive about COVID-19, but if we can say lock down ourselves and then do certain things that we always wanted to do. So I think that way we can say we improve our life better.
I mean, again, with this whole pandemic thing and learning to adapt, I mean, with the fourth industrial revolution,
Yeah,
We
because that's where the world is going right
that's
now.
where the world is going right now, you know. In the next decade, it seems like there's going to be a whole lot of
Everything
change.
is removed right now.
Everything is AI. Everything is going digital. So it's kind of like a challenge to see if humanity really is ready for the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, I was looking at it like this: COVID-19, world pandemic, and I mean, if you look at the cases, usually it affects usually the people who pass on are like senior citizens and stuff.
Yeah. Hence, we go back to the conspiracy. A lot of people are saying that COVID is here to eliminate all people, and it's same rule that Charles Darwin used. The law of adaptation and what's not. Those who can adapt to this COVID-19 are those who can actually be the people who drive this generation of fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about this COVID-19 and stuff. There's a lot to say about it. You know, about the reopening of schools, the banning of alcohol, the banning of cigarettes
the banning of
and stuff.
alcohol. The banning of alcohol.
It's affected everyone in such a way that
I don't drink alcohol, and I don't know. I'm not advocating for alcohol to be opened, but I'm saying as black people, so I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a good idea for government to ban the consuming of alcohol in the country or what, but as I see things in South Africa, as we black society, there are a lot of things that we struggling with, problem that we go with, we are having. So a lot of people are using alcohol as a life support to them. Yeah, as an escape to them, as a life support. So when governments say that they stop the production of alcohol in the country for certain period, there are certain people who have been struggling with their demons, and the only way to escape from that is to consume alcohol. Consume alcohol, intoxicate. So when you take that away from that person, how do you expect that person to live? I'm not saying it's a good thing for a person to rely on the consumption of alcohol in order to live, but I'm just saying, man.
Just looking at everything from a two-way street. That's a whole nother topic. So let's just save that one for another day. Zero Info Podcast. We're gonna actually just tackle everything that affects you as the youth and all that other stuff. So we have a few people that we asked these 6 questions, it's COVID-19. So we
Yeah.
had to find a way to get these questions out there and get people to share their own opinion. And then this is what they had to say.
So, one, how does your society stigmatize coronavirus in your community, and how do you feel about it? So, in my community, it's stigmatized as, first, let me get the understanding of stigmatized. Like, is like, what is the view of coronavirus? Like, the view here is people think, yeah, it's gonna spread and you're gonna all catch it regardless. I mean, let's not care, whatever. Basically, life is normal where I'm living in, which is Kailami Estate, and I disagree with that. Um, People are going to the shops regularly now. Uh, they're going to restaurants, eating out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those things. I guess they are supporting local businesses, but I say support them by just purchasing the food. You don't need to sit there. You know what I'm saying? Um, and yeah, dude, in the beginning, it was about being worried about it and things like that. Uh, and now, with the knowledge that there's 3,000 people, 300,000 people with it, people have are starting to care less now. You know what I'm saying? So, I disagree with that view. Next question. Some say COVID-19 is a man-made virus that is there to depopulate people, and some say it's a man-made virus that is there to promote pharmaceutical drugs and vaccinations. What do you think about those opinions? Do you think it is just some conspiracy theories, or do you think it's true? Okay, there's some truth to it, but for me, rather, I'm gonna say it is a conspiracy theory. Why I say that is because coronavirus, you can compare, or to understand, or for me, why I say it's a conspiracy theory, because I understand what coronavirus is. Coronavirus, when you explain it, is basically an immune suppressor. So it suppresses your immune system, meaning if you have corona, your immune system cannot combat as it could without it being affected with coronavirus. So I don't think it's a man-made I don't think it's a man-made virus, because just like the flu and just like many other things, flu, polio, and other symptoms, these things happen, and it's because in the world, just like trees and things like that, like giraffes eat off trees with thorns in it. Now those thorns, the trees grew thorns, or plants, yeah, plants grow thorns to protect themselves over something that keeps like eating them or attacking them. You know what I'm saying? So if something keeps happening, a defense system happens. So me personally, my view on coronavirus, it could be, it's my opinion, I don't think it's right or whatever, is the earth kind of combating the disasters and the issues us humans have caused on it. So you know what I'm saying? So just like how a rose will grow thorns, I think the earth is growing its thorns by giving us COVID, just like it gave us flu and things like that. Why do I say that is because, why I say that rather is because when everyone went on the lockdown, everything like pollution rate went down, which was very good. The water pollution went down, air pollution went down, things like a lot of improvement. The ozone layer had recovered to full potential. It was no longer torn and things like that because of uh, companies closing down, factories closing down and things like that, or being under lockdown for those moments. So I think it's the earth combating. And that's just my opinion comes from just me really adoring nature and things like that. Cool. Next question. How does the COVID-19 affect your day-to-day activities, and what can be done to solve that? So my day-to-day activities are, they usually utilize, like my day-to-day activities are meeting people. How does it affect it? It's affected because when you meet people, you want to shake their hands, you want to hug them, things like that. Maybe they share food, stuff like that. Cool. So how mine is affected is I can't really trust all the people I see. Trust that they are taking the right precautions with COVID. Like make sure they sanitize their hands anytime they interact with someone. Make sure they're having hot liquids. They're taking the right vitamins and things like that, and they're not going out too much. Like they should be going in a radius of 5K. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can't really trust that. So I don't know how I would want it to be solved and solution and like things are being put in place for these solutions like sanitizers at doorsteps, thermometers and things like that. On top of that, I wish try to uphold the law a bit more. Like if you could get everyone tested for free rather than paying, then you've solved it for me because we understand we consider to be a third world country. Like we're still developing. Even though we have nice infrastructure in some certain areas, the whole country we consider to be a developing country. So we can assume that a lot of the people can't afford to get the tests and so on. And those that can don't want to get the tests because they're acting too cool. Like I said, in Kailami, there's people that think, you know, we're just all going to get it regardless. Let's forget it. And I disagree with that. I think you can do your best not to catch it because in 1980s, some people caught the flu and some didn't. Flu only came like a whole century later, you know what I'm saying, for the whole world to get it. But then we already came up with vaccinations and things like that. I really feel like if we could get free tests, that would really solve the issue. Because then you know exactly who has and who doesn't. And if you know the amount of people that don't have it, you could really then start life. You know what I mean? Like open up the economy to those that don't have it. It's just carried for now while the others are recovering. You know what I mean? Because then let's say in a country of 60 million, let's say 50% have it, so 30 million have corona, 30 don't. There's 30 million that can still work, and out of those 30 million, just for then, we just need 14 days for the others to recover. Out of those 30 million, if they uphold protocol regarding hand sanitizing and social distancing, I would think, I mean, I'm not saying I'm better than the president or whatever, but I think it could lessen this economic toll on us and strain. Next question, should we accept living with COVID-19 as part of our life? Like we do to other viruses. No, COVID again, because I understand it to be an immune suppressor, like an immune suppressor. I don't think it can be considered as something as deadly as HIV, just because that's something we still can't cure right now. We can, I guess, reduce the effects of HIV, but we know HIV and AIDS, but we know you're still affected by it. Whereas with COVID, it does leave your system. So I don't think you can live with it. Rather, we, for now, the lifestyle we're living, as in wearing masks and things like that, protocols, that I wouldn't mind living in such an environment for now, if it means being safe. I don't mind living in that type of environment, whereas wearing masks and hand sanitizing. If anything, it's teaching us to have good hygiene and be aware of other people's privacy and things like that. Like this 1 meter rule is very nice now, because even before we were even affected by COVID, people would always, like in the queue, want to stand right by you and so on, and cough on you and all that nonsense. So now it's cool that we are more aware of hygiene. Do you think COVID-19 is a biblical conspiracy about the end of the world, like the Bible says? No, I don't think it's. I think it is part of. I think it is part of history, just like in the Bible, but I don't think it's a conspiracy. I would relate this to something like Noah's Ark, in my opinion, because I know, for me, the earth was made by God, and just like I said earlier, it's the earth's way of combating what we have done to the earth, you know what I'm saying? Just like in Noah's Ark, people were greedy and selfish and all that, and did not believe in faith and things like that. That's why they gave them the chance. Do you believe? Come on the boat. They didn't, and then so on. So I think it's one of those moments where the earth is making us realize and reflect on what's more important. It isn't about money and it isn't about positions in life, but it's really about caring about each other, sharing, and what we can do to sustain this earth that we live on. Because we have the stigma of thinking that we are doing the earth a favor when we put cars and stuff like that, making new different materials and stuff like that, without even realizing by we polluting and stuff like that. So if anything, I do think it's it's like another moment, just like Noah's Ark. But I don't think it's end of worlds. No.
Okay, how does society stigmatize coronavirus in your community, and how do you feel about that? I feel like in my community, coronavirus is not taken seriously because firstly, people are not adhering to the restrictions that have been put in place by government, such as putting on a mask when you go out. You find that people are still hanging out in groups, sharing cigarettes, sharing weed, when people saw, and all sorts of things, even drinks and whatnot. So I don't think people are taking it seriously because no one close to them is affected of the virus. Okay, question 2. Some say COVID-19 is a man-made virus that is there to depopulate people, and some say it is a man-made virus that is there to promote pharmaceutical drugs and vaccinations. What do you think about those opinions? Do you think it is just some conspiracy theories, or do you think it's true, or what is your opinion? Personally speaking, I believe coronavirus is not man-made. It was transferred to humans from animals. However, I believe that coronavirus, the way it has affected the world, it has been exaggerated. Because looking at South Africa, a person can die from a stroke, and then you find that they death certificate says that person died because of coronavirus. So such issues make me seem like hesitant in a way. So question number 3, how is the COVID-19 affecting your day-to-day activities, and what can be the solution to all that? Right now, COVID-19 is basically affecting my academics because I'm a full-time fourth-year student, so I'm not able to go to campus like I used to. So it's affecting my studies, but we're able to study online, even though I prefer face-to-face lectures compared to online lectures because it's something new we've never done before. So you can't collaborate as efficiently as you used to in class. Question 4. Should we accept living with COVID-19 as part of our life like we do to other viruses like HIV? I believe if if there's a solution to find a way to like decrease its effects on people so that they can't die like they're dying right now, just like HIV has ARVs, it would be better because in the end it would be eliminated. But without any sort of medicines that are able to control this virus, I believe we can't leave it like HIV because it's not like HIV. With HIV can live a long time, but COVID-19 is way, way, way stronger. So without any medicine and whatnot, question 5, when do you think that COVID-19 will end? I think COVID-19 will end in a year or 2. It's gonna take time because it requires everyone's participation, and without everyone's participation, people are just gonna get infected, recover, and reinfected. So we need to change our mentalities as people. Do you think COVID-19 is a biblical conspiracy about the end of the world like what Bible say in the book of Revelation? I believe that's total nonsense. It's not about the Bible or the end of the world. How many times has the Bible failed to predict the end of the world? How many times have pastors and false prophets failed to predict the end of the world? So it's not related to Christianity or whatnot. And thank you, that's my input.
How does a society stigmatize coronavirus? According to the area I stay at, everyone is just like well aware and self-aware of themselves. If like you're not wearing a mask, for instance, it's like all eyes on you, you know. Some say COVID-19 is a man-made virus and promotes pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines. What do you think about those opinions? Well, I personally think ultimately it's just part of the, what do you call it? You know what, listen, we are governed, right? We have governments, we have presidents. We are under a system, like it or not. Everything is planned, unfortunately. And we have been, since back then, everything we do, we are taught to do it in a system based, like, you know what I mean? So we are under a system, unfortunately, and I do not think that nobody knew about it. Obama said it like 5 years ago that 5 years later we might experience kind of like a flu that will come and we need to be ready for it, and we were never ready for it. And it's just things that are planned, unfortunately. Um, I don't know about it actually promoting pharmaceutical drugs, of which, yeah, but all I know is that it's just part of, um, uh, what can I say, New World Order, you know what I mean? Like, just depopulating because we are a lot, unfortunately. And they just want to keep everything in control and keep everyone on a leash, if I can put it that way. And you know what? How is the COVID-19? How did it affect my day-to-day activities? A lot. I mean, I'm no longer going to school. I'm studying from home. Um, I don't work, of which I had plans after I quit my job in January before this whole thing started. I can't do everything that I do to get income, just shut down because all external things, right? I no longer go to gym. Gyms are closed, which is something that calms me down, So I have had to get into a state that is really, really bad, like, because now my life just changed. And with school, I can't concentrate from home, I can't gym from home. So everything is just a drag, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, money is less and stuff like that, but the beautiful thing about it is that there's more positives than the negatives, you know what I'm saying? The positive about it is that, listen, okay, the sad part is that, firstly, the sad part is that I opened a traveling agency before we got shut down, which means I can't travel anyway and I can't even, my business can't function, of which I had plans that by June it should be up and running, but okay. So then when it happened, I had to redirect my mind, my investments to see where exactly can I actually jump in, and I jumped ship on finance and for forex, so I studied a lot about financial markets and I'm in there right now. That's what's keeping me afloat. That's what's generating income for me. That's the one thing I'm looking at while I'm studying. It's been difficult, kind of like stressing about keeping, balancing your life in terms of, stressing about having a roof over your head, stressing about finances, and stressing about school. It's not easy, but we have to push. So it's really been a tough time. But the greatest thing about it is that, look, I have developed a new skill. Now I can trade, and it's something that I can take without COVID or with no COVID. I can still make money off this thing, and just got to show that where is the world now. We are digital now. We are no longer. And for me personally, I initially felt like the whole COVID thing was all part of the fourth industrial revolution plans to just implement it. Like, it's a hard implement on, hey, we are moving on from third industrial revolution. We are on fourth. We are on the cloud now. We're on our phones now. We're on technology now. Like, technology has just come strong, and it's just forcing all companies to, like, just, go all in with the technology and make sure that it suits us in our homes. Um, should we accept living with COVID as part? Yeah, of course. I think we have to. COVID is a disease, yeah. It's a virus. HIV is a virus, and what we know about viruses is that you can't cure them. You can only create vaccines for them. I don't know. I'm not sure if once you have COVID forever and it can come back anytime. But since it's just the flu, I mean, flu is always there, right? So yeah, it's just something we need to live with. When do you think COVID will end? It's never gonna end. Do you think COVID is a biblical conspiracy about the end of the world? Listen, everything in the world is about the end of the world. So we are all living, it's just like living to die. You're gonna die one day. If so, your whole life is basically a story about how you died. So if I can put it that way. So it's just that, like, COVID is just a part of our lives and part of our deaths. and part of our story. So yeah, everything is a biblical thing. Everything that happens in this world, to be honest, it's all planned humanly, but God's plan is obviously greater. So we just live to learn and really dedicate ourselves, and we just have to know what to do, what not to do, gain wisdom, pray for wisdom, and just, follow what we believe in, and I guess we'll be okay.
Wow. Okay. Guys, those were some very interesting and educational opinions from Karmas, Busiso, and Lerato. Thank you guys and lady. Okay, now that is it, guys. This is the end of the podcast. We'll check you out in the second episode.
Yeah, stay tuned. Don't
Stay
forget to
tuned.
subscribe, man.
Stay dehydrated, sanitize.
Yeah, don't
Wear
forget
your
your mask. Don't forget your mask when you leave your home.
Yeah.
Always be the first thing in your checklist. Phone, mask, yeah.
Sanitizer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the boys in blue are gonna pick you up in the street and they're gonna put you behind bars.
Hell, we don't want no criminal offense, man.
We don't want that. We don't want that. We want you guys to stay safe. Stay
Yeah.
informed. This is Urban Info Podcast. My name is J95. This is Raps Worldwide.
Yeah.
And
Sign out.
we're signing out. We'll see you. But for now, Carpe Diem. This is Urban Info Podcast. Please do not forget to subscribe and follow us on our socials down below in the description and hit that notification button. We've also put down some links that'll direct you to information that will give you advice on how to cope with COVID-19, some brain exercises, online courses that you can, venture into, and home activities. In the next episode, we're actually going to be talking about self-awareness. I won't go too much into that one, but your eyes peeled on the socials.